Hey everybody, welcome back. So this is the next chapter in my movie poster collection series. Today I am doing the letter E. It's a couple here I may go a little in depth on, so let me jump right into it. So first up, here is my rolled poster for E.T., which I lucked out on. It has a little bit of rippling in it, not too bad, but that means I got it actually really cheap. Here's one I've had actually for a while now, and this is for Tobe Hooper's Eaten Alive, his follow-up film to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Here's my favorite Tim Burton movie, and that is Ed Wood, and probably my favorite film that has to do with the process of making a movie. Here's my El Mariachi poster, which actually took me quite a while to find one. Here is for John Carpenter's Elvis, starring Kurt Russell. So this was a made-for-TV movie, at least in the States, but in other countries it was actually released theatrically. And again, it's one of those that I'm just trying to grab as many John Carpenter posters as I can. Here's the one for Enter the Ninja. Here's one, if I remember correctly, I got a lot, and this is for The Entity. And now we start the main bulk of my E's, and that is for my Escape from New York collection. In fact, I'm wearing one of my Escape from New York shirts right now. So let's dive right into it. Up first is the Escape from New York teaser poster, which I was very happy to get. Wasn't cheap, but I did luck out on the price as far as not having to jump too far, but it was definitely one that I had wanted for a long time. And I love the artwork that they did for the character faces on it. You know, they're really small, but they were actually really well done. And then obviously the one sheet for Escape from New York, which I'm sure a lot of you have noticed and have pointed out. Here is the centerpiece of my movie room here, my framed and rolled Escape from New York poster, which I paid a lot of money to have it framed professionally, a lot more than I actually paid for the poster. And I do have one other version of the one sheet, this one folded, and this is the one I actually brought with me when I met John Carpenter when I went to the concert and had him sign. And I also have the one sheet in a 30 by 40, and as I mentioned before, the 30 by 40s were printed a lot less. There were, it was a fewer run when they did the 30 by 40s, and they're printed on more of a thicker stock. It's almost like a cardboard kind of. You don't find the Escape from New York ones that often, so I really lucked out when I got it. Another one I was happy to get, and that is the original lobby card set for Escape from New York. And this is an interesting one because I actually found a set for a really good price, but it was only 7 cards. It was missing one. And then eventually I did find the one I didn't have. And the ironic thing is, I think it cost me about half as much as I paid for the 7 to get the one, because it was the one I think that was the most popular. I'm trying to remember which one it was. I want to say it was the one with Kurt Russell and Adrienne Barbeau. I think that was the one. But even then, even getting all 8 the way I did, I still got it cheaper than had I got all 8 intact that I usually see it go for. And again, so happy to have it. Here is one of the video posters for Escape from New York. This is the one from 1994, if I remember correctly. And this is kind of a big deal. It was the first time the film had been released on video letterboxed, which was a big deal. It was one that had some special features on it, like it had the original opening, and the Laserdisc had the commentary track by Kurt Russell and John Carpenter, which has been now included on releases since then. So it was a big deal, and that release actually does have special meaning for me, so I was happy to have the poster for it. Now we get into some of my foreign posters for Escape from New York. Here is the German poster, which has that cool photo image of him, and it's one of those big ones. I don't remember if the dimensions are exactly the same as the French and Italian ones, but approximately it is that sort of 47 by 63. I don't know if it's the exact one for the German one, but I mean, again, it's huge. Here's the French poster, which, sorry about the mess. I think I took this picture as I was starting to pack up before the move a couple years ago. Again, love that image, and this was definitely the 47 by 63, another large one. Lord knows where I'm going to put these. Here is the one. Okay, so this is the mother of all of them. This is the Italian poster for Escape from New York, and this is called a 4-sheet. And that is literally almost like the size of like 4 one-sheets. And it is actually 2 pieces, the top half and the bottom half, that you line up in the center to form this giant image. And I forget the exact dimensions, but it's basically approximately 4 feet across and like 6 feet tall. It is massive. I mean, I don't know if this will ever happen, but my goal would be to live in a house where I would have this thing framed and have it right across in the entryway from the front door. So every time people would walk into my house, You'd see this giant Escape from New York poster, and it'd be like, that tells you that you are entering my house. Here is the Mondo Escape from New York poster from a couple years ago that also portions of it do actually glow in the dark. And it's very, very cool. Some of the Mondo stuff can sometimes be a little busy for my taste, but I thought this one was super cool. And then finally, this is the artist print of the UK re-release when they did the 4K restoration, was about a year and a half ago. There was a deal where I could have gotten all 4 of them, I just couldn't afford it, so I at least got, obviously, the Escape from New York one. And those are my Escape from New York posters. I still want to get like an insert poster and maybe the half sheet, but they're usually very, very expensive. Here's one I got in a lot, but I think the artwork is cool. I don't think I've seen the film, and that's for Evil in the Deep. I don't know, it just looks cool. So as I've mentioned in other videos, I'm a big Star Wars fan, and when I was a kid, I remember watching the Ewok Adventure, which were the television movies that they made, but they were actually released theatrically in other countries. So they actually did print posters and stuff. And I do have 2 different ones for A Caravan of Courage that I actually got from Lucasfilm years ago. So here is the first one, and here's the second one with the alternate artwork. And I also lucked out in finding the original lobby card set as well. Didn't even know they made it until I found it. I was like, oh, that's actually kind of cool and pretty cheap. So I looked out there too. A film that I really hope gets a remastered release at some point because I think it would look amazing, and that is for Excalibur. I love Excalibur. I've seen it. I've watched it so many times in my life. I know there was I think a rumor going around that Criterion had it at one point, but I don't know. Although it's one I would love if I got like a 4K release. And while I don't have a full set of 8, I do have 4 of the 8 of the lobby card set for Excalibur. I would like to get the other 4 at some point. I just lucked out on these and got them insanely cheap, maybe $10 or something when I found them. Here's one that I've had for a long time, and that is an original one for The Exorcist. Now in the picture, it looks a little kind of dusty and stuff. It's actually in plastic, which it no longer is. I do have it protected, but this is definitely one. This was definitely an early one that I lucked out on in my collecting. Another amazing thing is the original lobby card set that I have for The Exorcist. And here's one that, wow, I mean, I'm still amazed that I even have it. It's the original press kit for The Exorcist, and it came with a ton of stills for it. So I'm going to make this full screen, and here, as you can see, there's the folder for it, and then a bunch of like the info on the film, and it had like some reprints of articles about exorcism and things like that, and a bunch of stills. Now you can see all the stills there, but there are more. So here are the rest of the stills from that set, which, I mean, it's just an amazing, amazing press kit. I mean, I'm surprised I found it even so intact as I did. And here is a 30x40 for Exorcist II: The Heretic. Here's one of 2 of my Exorcist III posters. Here's my Exorcist III press kit, which, as you can tell, has like a lot of cool stuff. A lot of cool stills and stuff, for example. Here's the one for Exorcist: The Beginning, the Rennie Harlin film, which I actually really enjoy. I sort of don't compare it by any means to the original. I almost look at it more like I would Beyond the Door or something, almost like the Exorcist ripoff films. You kind of have a lot more fun with it. At least I do. And that just allows me to enjoy it so much more. And then finally, here's an interesting one. This is for The Exterminator. And this is the one I got in a lot. And it actually has a slight printing error on it, which is interesting. Up in the corner, which I hope you can see okay, it almost looks like it's chewed up and the colors are off. Now the paper is fine, but it was like a misprint of the poster, and some of them, because it was such a low budget movie, they still had to send them out. So it's actually kind of a cool thing to have. So that's it for the E's, so keep an eye out for the next one. Obviously will be the F's, and then I'll actually have a lot of my Friday 13th posters and that, so definitely keep an eye out for that. So let me know your thoughts on which ones you think I should keep. Obviously some of them are obvious, Escape from New York, Exorcist, obviously that stuff's not going anywhere. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.